And we are live. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Prizepicks NBA Player Props live stream. It is me, Chavez. I am back. We are back with another day of player props, another day of games and plays and odds and projections to dig into. As always, I hope this content finds you all doing well and in good spirits. We're going to go over some injury news today. We'll recap the two plays from yesterday that did not work out for me, at least. If you tell those plays, they did not work out for you as well. But definitely a lot of crazy shit happening yesterday in the NBA in terms of just scoring outputs. And I don't think anybody saw these outputs coming. We'll talk a little bit about that, and then we'll open it up to some Q&A, and then we will call it a day. So how's everybody doing today? Get that thumbnail up. Colin Sexton. Last time we had Colin Sexton on the thumbnail, the game got canceled due to some very unfortunate circumstances. Hopefully no unfortunate circumstances today in any NBA game. Hopefully all games play out. Got coffee, feeling good. It's hot, and we are ready to roll. So, good morning, Cutler. Jim the Judge, what's going on? Big Icy Ashley Cutler again. Screw Vince Will. Ramo, good morning. Ashley's already posting stuff in the Discord. Appreciate you. Yeah, we share slips in the Discord pretty much all day long. No, Cutler. I don't think anybody called that 70 from Embiid. I mean, 70 points from Embiid, and they won by 10. I think what was more of a storyline is Karl Anthony Towns scoring 62, and they lost. You had Anthony Edwards going for 9 points, 3 for 11 from the field, 11 assists. I mean, they lost to the Hornets. I wonder if they would have lost if Anthony Edwards went for 62. Like the wrong Timberwolves went for 60. You know, you shouldn't be losing if you're scoring that many points. If one of your stars is scoring that many points, but I feel like, I don't know. It's like a tale two sides there. Like if Anthony Edwards is scoring if Karl Anthony Towns is scoring all those points, then what the hell is going on with Edwards? You know, like he must be having a bad game. He had a terrible game. He has not been on a nice run at all. He's had some really bad games over the last week. But man, the Wolves lose to the Hornets. You didn't even get a big game for LaMelo Ball. You just had a lot of consistency. You had, Ball with 18 points, Bridges with 28 points, Brandon Miller with 27. You had Karl Anthony Towns give you 62 points. And the next highest scorer was Nickeil Alexander-Walker with 18. Why? Where's Rudy? Where's Anthony? Where the hell's Nas Reed? That's pretty shitty. Alex Rodriguez is not happy with that game. I can tell you that right now. Man. Yeah, crazy stuff in the NBA yesterday. Anybody take the promo, the Embiid, Tatum, Booker promo, 79.5 points, 80.5 points. I think it's 80.5, right? Did anybody play that promo? I barely saw it. I mean, I saw it just in time to play it, and I won a 2-pick, and it was the only 2-pick that I played. And it is literally the only reason I broke even yesterday, because my other 2-pick powers did not hit. So thankfully I saw it in time. And whoa, what is going on? Y'all hear that? One of my alarms is going off. Whoops. This is terrible. Terrible live stream. Hold on. Give me 1 second. That was weird. Um, yeah, I guess somebody tripped the building alarm or something, and like an evacuation alarm. Sometimes they run these tests and they don't tell anybody, so these damn alarms just go off like randomly. It's not as bad in Austin. When I was in Boston, somebody used to like break into the little room and mess with the alarm at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and the whole building would have to evacuate, and the fire department would have to come out and turn that shit off. This happened like once a month. It was ridiculous. So hopefully that's the only time we hear that shit. That's annoying. Super, super annoying. All right, let's see. Yeah, we're talking about the promo. The promo was literally the only thing that saved my day today. And what was a crazy night. We had Giannis go over way over his line of 51 and a half. Oh man, no reason the Bucks should be struggling with the Pistons like that. That's I'm not surprised, but I'm a little pissed off. And then Vince Williams Jr. Toronto sold out big time. You had the Bucks letting the distance stick around. You had Embiid going for 70, Cat going for 60. I mean, the final score with the Grizzlies and Raptors really doesn't tell the tale of that game. I mean, the Grizzlies were in control of that game the entire game. I mean, they were up by like almost 20 at one point. And then you had the Kings like really just rout the Hawks. And DeJounte doesn't even hit his assist prop. That was a very popular prop yesterday. It's going off again. It's crazy, man. I don't know what's going on over here. But yeah, we had a lot of crazy high scoring games, or like a lot of outlier performances. It's hard to build lineups and slips around that kind of shit when it happens. You don't see it coming. Definitely don't see it coming. Infamous Mel, what's going on? Good morning. Good morning. Michael, good morning to you. Let's see. Yeah, Infamous. I was like trying to break it down. I'm like, okay, if Embiid gets you 25 and Tatum gets you 25, I was trying to do it like that, and I was like, nah, Embiid's gonna get me 30, and then Embiid had like 30 at the half, and I'm like, oh crap. So that means like the more he scores, because that game was the first game on. So I was like, oh shit, the more he scores, like if he gives me 50, that means Tatum and Book only got to give me basically 16 points each or something like that. Yeah, he basically did it all by himself. That was one of the most impressive scoring outputs I've seen in a win. And they won. So that was fun. Good game between he and Wembanyama in terms of just like watching the teacher student. I don't know. I don't think they're that close to call him teacher student, but just like for the sake of this story, yeah, like the rookie and the vet, that was fun. I mean, that's kind of what you want in a game like that. All right. Let's get this going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this going. All right, so Bankroll Builder, we talked about this yesterday. I am curious. I know there's that's a good crack. I know there's no like sign up sheet or anything with this. Man, I don't want to nerd out on this too hard, but I mean, I am interested if you're following these guidelines, even maybe just one or two of them. Which ones are you following? And also, like, if you are following the entry amount, are you? Tell me in the chat, what's your entry amount? Like, what are you holding yourself to? Is it you're not playing more than a certain amount per day, and then you're taking that amount and dividing it into your entries, or are you saying, hey, I'm only playing power plays, 2 picks, and I'm only playing $10 per entry? Like, I'm curious what your strategies are around like sustaining your bankroll and not chasing losses and things like that. I'd love to hear more about how y'all go about your construction, per every day. But that's what we covered yesterday. We're not gonna spend a ton of time on this. I mean, yesterday I broke even. Personally, wasn't the best day for me. But honestly, breaking even in player props, any type of wagering, sports wagering, betting, whatever you want to call it, a break even day is not a bad thing. It's really not. It's not something you want to like always do because then you never make profit. But there are a lot of days you will break even. So it was a break even day. You know, it is what it is. Hopefully today with the tacos, building some high floor, high percentage plays and some slips, we can make a little money today. All right. Yeah, plays. I don't want to spend too much time into this heartache, but I took the under, not we, I took the under on Vince Williams Jr. He goes well over this, finishes, I believe, with 27, something like that. I expected the Raptors to really show up a little bit more than what they did yesterday. Really missing Siakam so far in post Siakam era in Toronto. Still no post. They don't really have an anchor in the middle of that lineup. Vince Williams had 10 rebounds. I think he led the Grizzlies in rebounds yesterday. And then obviously we all know what Giannis did. Finishes with 57, I believe, 58 PRA. In a game where I didn't really see him getting that last run in the fourth quarter because I thought he would. I thought they'd be ahead, and they weren't. So Bucks continue to struggle on defense, allowing the worst teams in the NBA to hang with them, keeping Giannis on the floor. Vegan D, I don't know if he's in the chat. He is known as Vegan D in the Discord. He sent me a message and said, rule number 100, stop taking the unders on Giannis. I told him, I said, you know what? I'm going to have to start following that moving forward because, yeah, man, this guy continues to like go over when I take the under. And when I don't play him, he goes under. So, yeah, it is what it is. So 0-2 with those plays. Nothing more to say. Definitely want to bounce back today, but we got to move forward. No time to pity the losses. Injury news for today. So pretty big names on the injury report. We got Tyrese Halliburton. I know he's listed as questionable here, but a report did come out this morning. He is set to miss the next 3 games. So he is out for the next 3 games. This injury report was screenshotted prior to that injury news coming out. So he's out for the next few games. We got LeBron that's out tonight. Jackson, Nimhart are both questionable. And then you have Hartenstein, who is questionable. AD is probable. You got MPJ, Aaron Gordon, and Jared Vanderbilt. So we can take a look at Anthony Davis props today if y'all want to start there. You know, when there's no LeBron, AD is the key holder in that offense. So NBA plays. So today, listen, I don't have anything written up for today. There honestly wasn't a whole lot popping for me personally. I'm noticing this on Tuesdays because of the tacos. The value really just isn't there. And so I don't normally start seeing things that I like to build around until mid-morning. So I have a few players that I do want to talk about, Colin Sexton being one of them. But I'm going to hold off until the tacos are dropped, and then I'll put those in the Discord. So you can find those there. Props.cash, partner of the channel. Thanks, 25% off your first month over there. Use it. Save some money on that first month. And then we will spend a minute or two over on the OddsShopper Pick'ems table. Sign up for OddsShopper. If you don't like doing the research, if you don't like doing any of the stuff we talk about in this stream, and you just want the picks and you want the highest value picks, OddsShopper is your place to go. OddsShopper also does on the betting side of things. I'm not in a state that allows that. I'm in a state that only allows the pick'em. So I can't utilize all the features on OddsShopper. But if you're on the betting side, the money lines, the totals, and all that stuff, OddsShopper has you as well. So moving forward, let's get this going. Let's head over to Prizepicks. We're going to pull up the dashboard. and we are going to start looking at some plays for today, January 23rd, 2023. No, 2024. Whoa. Old habits die hard. Let's get this going. We got 33 viewers on the stream. Let's get those like button on your way in. Truly appreciate that. Just reading the chats here. Michael said he played the promo with LaMelo Ball and it killed my slip. Fox killed his other slip. Jim the Judge, good morning. I don't know if I wish you a good morning, but good morning. Jalen Williams over points in PB, points and rebounds, 23.5. Ashley said Embiid killed a lot of people's slips. I mean, shit, I took the under on his 18.5 rebounds and assists, and then it got dropped to 18, and I was like, oh, man, I got it at a really good line because it's dropping. And he got 20, something like that. I think he had 17 rebounds. So I think he had finished with 21 total rebounds and assists. Yeah, Embiid killed a lot of people's slips. Who saw that coming? I did not see that coming. All right, make sure I don't miss anything else in here before we get into the plays. Hoops, what's going on? Good morning to you. Nice avatar there. I like those. Freddie, what's going on? Good morning. All right. Michael Rivera said, as always, Jalen Williams. All right. Jalen Williams is becoming a wagon. He is definitely becoming a wagon. Julian Champagne, we talked about him briefly yesterday. Anybody take his points and rebounds? Anybody take his fantasy score? We talked a little bit about those two being in play, and I think he definitely got his points and rebounds. I mean, I assume he got his fantasy score too. I guarantee you those lines will start getting bumped up for him. He's just producing at such a high level right now. All right. Let's get some plays on the board. What say you? Let's get some plays on the board. I'm just going to look for the first one that I see, and we're just going to go down from there. Much like we did yesterday, if you got multiple plays, I'm going to take the first one. If you have 3, I'm going to take out of that 3 and just keep it moving. That way I get to as many as I can from as many people as I can. First one that I see is this Aaron Gordon. I'm assuming that's Aaron Gordon over 21 points and rebounds. Play of the day for Cutler. Yeah, let's do play of the day. Also, we didn't do play of the day yesterday. I didn't remember. It's y'all's fault. Y'all didn't remind me. Nah, it's my fault. I didn't remember. And today we'll definitely get some plays of the day in here. And then what I'll do, like I did last couple of days, is we will post these over in the Discord. And honestly, the last couple of times we ran these, basically the play of the day is just like taking your favorite play, the one you feel like is in the best position to hit under or over, however you're playing it. The last couple of days, if we would have played all the plays of the day in a slip, we would have went 5 out of 6, 4 out of 5. So that's pretty damn good. Collaborating on that slip. That's pretty cool. So we got Aaron Gordon, number 1, looking at 21.5 points and rebounds. If it's not Aaron Gordon, let me know who Aaron is. But I think, or Aaron Neesmith. Got to be Aaron Gordon. He's the only Gordon on the board. Yeah, there you go. All right, so let's kick it off with Aaron Gordon first. Points and rebounds from Cutler. Big Icy said he usually plays 5, so I'm assuming $5 entries on your Prizepicks. ATM says he plays no more than 25. I will typically play more on the 2 picks, like 20 to 25, and then on the flexes, I'll do 5 to 10. Maybe some people do it the other way around. They flip it around. I personally have more confidence in 2 picks to go over, because it's just, for me, it's easier for 2 picks to hit. It's also easier for that slip to not hit, because one loss ruins it. But that's just what I feel comfortable with. Every once in a while, I'll play like $100 on a 2 pick power, but not always. That's not how you sustain bankroll. But for this bankroll builder, I'm sticking to, $5 to $6 on my flexes, and 20 to 25 on my powers. That's what I'm going to stick with. That's my rule for this month. Unless it's Flex Friday. I mean, you get that $20 insurance over on Prizepicks, so definitely gives you more incentive. But it is like one of the exceptions. Promos, tacos, all that really kind of get mixed in there too. Maybe you play a little bit more on Taco Tuesday. During the baseball season, you had like, what was it, Hot Dog Wednesday, or what the fuck it was? I don't know. Glizzy Wednesday. Stuff like that will, you'll make an exception for. ATM says he plays 3-leg powers. Man. I play 2-pick powers. 3. That's brave, man. For real. That's brave. But like, whatever's if that's, people have different comfort levels, definitely different comfort levels. Jim the Judge, $5 bets. Yeah, like $5 is like the unanimous number here. Unanimous number here for sure. Oh shit, for real? Is that for real, Ashley? Pulling it up. Let's see. Oh yeah. Per ESPN, Adrian Wojnarowski, the Hornets have traded Rozier to the Heat in exchange for Kyle Lowry and a 2027 first round pick. This move feels perfect for each squad. Yeah. Ooh, so usage rate for LaMelo Ball is already pretty high, but for guys like Brandon Miller, like that guy gets probably more run. And you just add an extra shooter to the Heat. So that's a cool trade. I like that trade. All right, I'm getting off topic here. But this stream, I want it to be inclusive of conversation around the NBA. I see that Kawhi Leonard prop. Yeah, man, I want to talk. I want to chat NBA. If y'all got something to talk about. There we go. Kawhi Leonard assists. All right. Big Icy, it's on the board. All right. We got Mikal Bridges over 8.5 rebounds and assists. It's number 3. Let's run 5 at a time. Is that a pause? Let's run 5 player props at a time. Bridges assist over, Brunson points over, Ingram rebounds over, Sexton points over. Let's do Bridges assist, Ashley. I'm going to take the first one that you have there. So you're immediately going to, you know what? Wait, hold on. Not Miles Bridges. You're talking about Mikal Bridges? All right. We'll look up Mikal Bridges assists because that's part of the rebounds and assists. We'll look at that. I thought the Hornets were on the schedule today. Michael Russell points and assists 25 looks good with LeBron James not playing. Let's take a look at it. There's our first 5. 26 points and assist. All right, so first 5. We got, no, that's 4. Damn it. We need one more. One more. Dude, Joseph, good morning. Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Me too. Me too. Absolutely. Me too. I tell you what, Divine, you say 80 points or PRA, Brandon Ingram points. Let's pull up 80 because I have a feeling that his name will get brought up a few times today. And he's in a prime spot with LeBron not being in. So let's just tackle a lot of his props on props.cash. If anybody comes in and they're like, oh, what about AD? Somebody throw it in the chat. We already covered that. And we like the over. We like the under. Let's help those people out. All right, we got our first 5 on the board. We're going to take these over to props.cash. And we are going to, we're going to get things going. We're going to get things going. And I tell you what, we're going to start in Los Angeles, where LA is taking on LA. And we're going to kick things off with AD. Look at his points first. And right now his points are sitting at 27.5. So you're getting pretty coin flippish odds here. He has not hit this but one time over his last 6 games. One time over his last 5. 4 out of his last 10. Looking at the Clippers defense is pretty legit. They are starting to cook. They are starting to gel right now. They look like shit when Harden came over. But this looks like a very good team and a fit for Harden. So this team is starting to look pretty strong, and they're getting strong at the right time, heading into All-Star break and all that stuff. So this defense is legit. Davis only projected for 25 points today. Now, let's remove LeBron James from the equation, and let's take a look at what this looks like. So much better numbers for Anthony Davis over his last 10 games without LeBron James in. We have a 4-game sample size to look at. None of these games from OKC over are this season. So these are the 5 games we got to look at this season. 4 out of 5 games he's gone over. My correction. I can't minimize it to 4 games. So ignore that OKC game. Only look at the Portland, Utah. 4-game sample size without LeBron James. 3 out of 4. Still really good. All right. In those games, I mean, he's averaging 98, 113 divided by 4. A little over 25-ish points, like 26 points. So he's still a little under his line today. But aside from that Utah game, he's crushed this line in all these other games. So it does give you a little bit more. It gives you a little more to work with when looking at his point projection. You could look at it also from the angle of it's easier to focus on double teaming AD when there's not a legitimate second scorer on that team that you really need to fear. Like LeBron, it's hard to like give either one of those too much attention, but when there's just one on the court, maybe it does help LA focus. I don't know. But I do know these numbers look good for AD in terms of his points without LeBron James. We can take a look at his PRA without LeBron James. Not as good. There's more that goes into going over a PRA. But 2 out of 4 games this season, he has gone over. And then looking at his projection of 44.11, He's right there. So we got another situation on our hands. If you feel like he's in a great spot without LeBron James and you look at his projection and say it's right there at that line, I definitely see him hitting another free throw, grabbing another rebound, scoring another point to get the over on that one. You're getting better odds on his PRA than you are on his points alone. So we all know Anthony Davis is in a good spot to eat without LeBron. I just, the matchup isn't. He's not playing Utah. He's not playing San Antonio. He's playing the Clippers. So you got Anthony Davis, points, PRA. Interested in his points and assists or anything like that, we'll take a look at those lines. Exact same odds on his points and assists here. Utah is the one game that he just didn't go over any of his lines. Crushes it against Minnesota, San Antonio, and Portland. PR. Looks like rebounds are a little low in these games because he's going under on his points and rebounds and his PRA. And rebounds are the common stat in those. So it looks like the rebounds aren't really there for those two games. If you're interested in his blocks and steals and anything like that, he needs 4 of them to go over. Unless Prizepicks has this prop at a lower line. Looking pretty not good. Minus 160 to the under. So there's Anthony Davis. Points, PRA, points and assists, points and rebounds, steals and blocks. There's 5 lines right there. Let's stick in the same game. Let's talk about D'Angelo Russell. Then we'll talk about Kawhi Leonard's assist. D'Angelo Russell, we're looking at his points and assists without LeBron James in there. Since we're on AD, I look over and I see Cutler Starks comment, if AD's fantasy is between 52.5 to 54.5, got to smash this over. I would be interested in his fantasy because of the upside he brings with steals and blocks. Even if he doesn't get you 4 steals and blocks, if he gets you 3, that's 9 extra points right there. Do the math. 25 points, 26 points from AD plus 9 is 34. 10 rebounds is 12. That's 46. He would need a little bit more than 26 points. Yeah. So if you like his fantasy, unless he goes crazy with steals and blocks today, if you like his fantasy score, you should like his points because he's definitely going to need a little bit more than 25, 26, and hopefully more than 10 rebounds. All right, let's look at D'Angelo Russell's points and assists. 26.5 points and assists today. This is also his last 5 games. You want to take a look at his last 10. We're getting a much different storyline here. 0 for 5, 4 for 5. Which D'Angelo Russell will we get? I don't know. He's a part of some trade rumors as well. It's the only thing I hear hanging up the Levine to LA trade. This dude's been traded so many times. I don't even think it matters to him. Like, I'm sure he loves living in LA and he probably has a house out there anyway, but like, it's part of the business and I'm sure he's fine. Like, he can play through all the chalk. It's not hurting his performance. What is hurting his performance is when LeBron James is not on the court. So these are his numbers without LeBron James on the court. He's gone over this line in 3 out of the last 10 games. Now, again, from Phoenix over last season, look at this season. Ignore the Phoenix game. From Portland to Utah, these are 4 games this season without LeBron James on the court. Only 1 out of those 4 games. Just because something happened last game doesn't mean it happens this game. So, we don't necessarily look at that and say that's what's going to happen today. But it is a little it's a little bit of a head scratcher. Like, damn, when LeBron's not on the court, his numbers do suffer a little bit. His projections look really good. So 30.15 points and assists is what he's projected for, along with 24 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 3-pointers made for D'Angelo Russell. So I don't know about this one. What about his points? Just points alone. Without LeBron James on the court, this is a neutral court also. There's no home court advantage. I mean, it's being played in LA, same stadium. I'm gonna hold off on D'Angelo Russell's points and assists for now. I want to dig into that a little bit more or stay away from it. But from what I'm seeing outright, it doesn't look like his numbers get much better when James is off the court. His assists alone look good. I don't know if they are 7.5 over on Prizepicks, but they're 7.5 right now. So I mean, he's got 4 straight games of 8 or more assists without LeBron James on the court. You maybe look to his assist or his rebounds and assists. Rebounds and assists also look pretty strong without LeBron James on the court. This one makes a little bit more sense, right? LeBron James is not there to snag boards and dish assists, leaving more on the table for D'Angelo Russell. Unless you feel he stays hot. He's been shooting the ball well. A couple extra props for you right there. All right, let's look at Kawhi Leonard. Assist. Are okay. Yeah, I mean, what I'm also like when I bring up your plays, I really try not to form an opinion on your plays because I don't want to say like that's not a good play, that's not a bad play. I only want to present the information and just show you because that's like the data and nobody can argue with the numbers. Like those are what they are. So, but like I always say, if somebody's really confident in the play, I mean, I'll never argue with that. So if you played the over on him, I mean, nothing wrong with that. All right, let's look at Kawhi Leonard's assists, 3.5. Now he's gone over this in 5 straight games, 4+ in every single game in that stretch. Odds look pretty decent at -128 to the over, +100 to the under. Matchup's a little more favorable for Kawhi, especially with LeBron not on the court. He is projected for 4 assists today. So this one looks strong as well for Kawhi. I like that. I like that one for Kawhi. Another one that I like, but unfortunately it is not on Prizepicks, but if you can find it anywhere else, is the over on his 0.5 block. This one looks really good. If you can find it anywhere else at 0.5, I mean, I would even take it at 1. But 0.5 steals and blocks, not as good for Kawhi Leonard. All right, let's look at Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges. One of the damn Bridges. Mikal Bridges. Aaron Gordon has been bumped. You're right. 22.5 from 21.5. Well, shit. We'll still look at it. Let's look at Mikal Bridges, 8.5 rebounds and assists first. Should be a pretty slow game between these two teams. Battle of the boroughs and all that fun stuff. So 4 out of his last 10, 2 out of his last 5. Projections look really good. Projected for 9.37 RA. Head-to-head matchup between he and the Knicks. We have one game to look at this season, and he got you 7. Or 4, he went 1 out of 3. So there is his rebounds and assists. You got a couple things to work with here. You got odds that are not terrible. I know that's not the most ringing endorsement. It's not terrible. Hey, mom, I met somebody new. Oh, what are they like? They're not terrible. Best endorsement, but shit, it can be a lot worse, okay? So his odds aren't terrible, but his projections are 9.37. So round that down to 9, which is probably where it'll end up. And you got yourself a nice little rebounds and assist prop for Mikal Bridges. All right, let's go to Indiana. What is Indiana known for? Like, it's not corn, is it? Anybody from Indiana in the stream? Probably not. We don't have much of a Midwest representation here, but they're known for Larry Bird and Reggie Miller. We're looking up Aaron Gordon. Points and rebounds got bumped up. Well, they got bumped up on Prizepicks, but they've been 22.5 on other books. So Prizepicks is catching up to everybody else. So now it's an even playing field, okay? You can see all these sports books down here had this at 22.5. This didn't just change. These have been 22.5. So Prizepicks had it for a lower line for a while, got bumped up. Listen, his numbers against Indiana are fantastic. He has one game this season, less than a week ago, and he gave you 30 PR. Remember, no Tyrese Halliburton today. I'm going to try to pull up that report because it definitely wasn't reflecting in the injury. Just got it. It says Tyrese Halliburton injury to miss next 3 games due to be reevaluated on Saturday. So there is no Tyrese Halliburton today. Can the Indiana Pacers keep this close? I think they can. At home, gives them slight advantage. Now, Aaron Gordon's last 10 games don't look promising at all. 1 out of the last 5, 3 out of his last 10. Head-to-head matchup looks very strong. So that kind of does make up for what we're seeing here. Not terrible odds once again. And then his PR today is set for 21. I'm going to round that up. If that doesn't give you confidence, and it's the bump also, you can look to his rebounds. They're probably sitting at 7 over on Prizepicks. I don't think you'll find them at 6.5 anymore. But take a look at his rebounds. They're sitting at 7 on Prizepicks. Minus 146 to the over. When I see a number like that, that's not telling me that he's going to get 7. That's telling me he's going to get closer to 8. So his rebounds are still in play. And his points are at 14.5 on Prizepicks. So you're getting him at a lower line. The most books have this at 15.5. When we bring it down to 15.5, it does change a little bit. So he's gone over this in 3 out of his last 5 games. And he's gone over this in every single matchup dating back to last season. So I think his points are in play. I think his rebounds are in play. If you combine the two, you get Captain Planet. If you combine the two, then you need 23 points and rebounds with that bump. So if you don't like the bump on his points and rebounds, then look to one of these singular stats and play the over on one of those. But there's Aaron Gordon, and that rounds out our first 5 over on Prizepicks. So here's what we got so far. We like the over on Kawhi's assist. Oops. I'm going to stay under on D'Angelo Russell's points and assists, just based off what I saw. Mikal Bridges, 8.5 rebounds and assists. That's another one I'm a little undecided, but just to make a decision, I'll take the over on this one. AD's points at 27.5. I'm going to say under. It's funny, though, because I can see him definitely going over his I could definitely see him going under his points, but going over on his fantasy points, if that makes sense. He can easily get you 26, 13 boards, 4 blocks and steal. Like, that shit is in the cards. And I'm going to go over on Aaron Gordon just because what we saw against Indiana. I know Pascal Siakam's there now, but I think Pascal has his hands full with that front court. That's a big ass front court. I mean, I'm willing to take the over in Aaron Gordon 22.5. And if not, then look to his rebounds and points. I think his rebounds are probably the best play. That's my opinion. All right. So like we did yesterday, we're going to screenshot these. I'll throw these over in the Discord if anybody wants to take a look at these. These are all the plays that we've talked about so far. 6 up and 6 down. Let's do it. All right. Before we get into the next round of player props, let's take a look at the Odd Shopper Pick'em table. Why? Because they paid me to do it. No, they didn't pay me to do it. We agreed. It was a mutual agreement that I would promote their product. It's a good product. But what I really want to use this next minute for is to just show you the available plays on Prizepicks. Is Christian McCaffrey the first taco today? What the fuck? So in terms of value, these are the best plays on the board right now in terms of value, expected win rate, true odds, etc., etc. We got this Christian McCaffrey play at 0.5 total rushing yards. It is not a taco. It is just a promo. So here's what you should do. You should definitely play the Christian McCaffrey promo and pick your best NBA player prop today and 2-pick power that shit. And yes, you have to wait for the payout, but that's okay because on Sunday, if you put $20 on this today, if your NBA play hits on Sunday, you're guaranteed $60 profit or $40 profit, but you're guaranteed $60 winnings. Come on, man. That's a no-brainer. Take the over on that one. Do for that one. First NBA play on the board for Prizepicks is this Colin Sexton under 29.5 PRA. Now, maybe you don't like this under. Maybe you think that's a crazy line. I will admit he's been on a hell of a run. I think some regression is due. But that's the first play that's popping on Prizepicks for the NBA. The next one you have is Chet Holmgren under 7.5 rebounds. Go back and look at his rebounding game logs. We've talked about this already. He is not a strong rebounder. Books continue to prop his lines way too high. He has gone under this in 3 straight games. Yes, he can snag 10 rebounds. I understand Portland's defense is not great. DeAndre Ayton is still a decent center in this league. This is in play. But outside of that, you have a lot of other plays on here from other books. So that Christian McCaffrey play is a no-brainer. Play him. Maybe you find a play in today's stream that you like. You got 127 hours. Hurry up. You got 127 hours to make a decision. Hurry up. Get that play in there before it's too late. All right. Let's head back to Prizepicks. Let's dig into this round 2 player props. I'm going to clear the board. If you didn't see what we just broke down, sorry. We just broke down 5 plays, 6, 7, almost 10 plays. All right. What'd I miss? I'm just going to scroll back up. Wait, what'd you say, Divine? Wait, can you repeat that one more time? Oh, you can repeat that. Okay, cool. Divine says no Zubac. So we talk about AD's points. We talk about AD's rebounds. We talk about AD's PRA fantasy points. No Zubac in the middle means that it is not as much of a challenge. I think that's what you're getting at, right, Divine? You got Daniel Tyson, Mason Plumlee in there. Zubac is skilled, man. Zubac is good. Case in point, man, Paul George doesn't have scrubs on his podcast. So the fact that he was on there tells you something. So no Zubac. Good point. So change anything for you with AD plays? Maybe. Definitely, you should definitely dig into that a little deeper. We're not going to go back on AD right now because we got too many player props in the chat to dig into. So appreciate that that information, Divine. Really good one there. All right. Michael Rivera says Jalen Brunson looks good. Points and assist. Giddy PRA. All right. Let's kick it off with prom night. Brunson. What's up with that black eye Brunson had like 2 weeks ago? Have y'all noticed that shit? Like, he's not the only one. There's been like 3 or 4 NBA players with like a black eye, like a shiner. And it's not the full black eye. It's not like they got punched. It's like something hit them underneath their eye socket or something. I think it's some Illuminati bullshit they got going on in the NBA. Don't get me started on all the rabbit holes and conspiracy theories I have surrounding that shit, but just weird. Don't tell me you fell down and that's a lie. That's suburb shit. All right. Darrell, good morning to you, sir. Catching up on all the good mornings today. Infamous Mel says $13 on 2 mans, $40 on 6 mans. All right. Definitely you like the high upside for sure. All right. Divine OGPRA. All right. We don't get a lot of OG love. Let's pull up OG's PRA. Mr. DraftKings, what's going on? Good morning. Bridges under 2.3 lock. Mikal Bridges, we just talked about his rebounds and assists. All right. What else? What's going on, Steven? Good morning to you. Nerd affiliated in the house. Giddy RA. We're going to talk about his PRA. We'll talk about his RA as well. Williams RA and Zion RA. Jesse Jabert. Am I putting too much on that? Good morning to you. Welcome in. Let's look at Zion. You like his RA? Over, under? Make sure y'all put the over, under in your player inquiry. That way we can make a case for it. All right. I think we're kind of caught up. Mari off radar. Good morning. Welcome in. Dwight Lewis, welcome in. Good morning to you. That's an interesting one. Ramo says, I like to hear those conspiracies. I'm not gonna get too deeply into it, but go research NBA magnets in the basketball. That's how I got started on this shit. I saw something in an NBA game that looked out of sorts. A basketball should not bounce like that, and I saw something, and I just Googled it, and thus began the rabbit hole, and just some things that'll make you think a little bit. Not saying they're true. I'm just saying they'll make you think a little bit. All right. Ooh, Jim said Sexton's PRA just dropped to 28.5. See, it was a little too high. At least people were playing the under. That tells you that they were playing the under on that one. Let's look at Sexton. I mean, he is my thumbnail cover. I didn't want to talk about him, but because we got the line movement to speak on, let's do it. So we got Sexton PRA, Zion RA, OG PRA, Brunson PA, and so let's head over to props.cash. Let's start breaking these down. What is that? All right. Hit that like button on your way in, everybody. Appreciate the support and the time you take to check this stream out. If you're new to the stream, we go over a lot of NBA player props in this stream. I give you my best breakdown based off the information on props.cash. I give you picks, and we just have fun. We just have fun. We do plays of the day. What else do we do? Yeah, we got bankroll builder going on. We're trying to sustain our money and not give it right back to Prizepicks, right? All right, let's kick things off in New York. So we got this OG Anunoby PRA line to look at, sitting at 21.5 over on props.cash. We are getting it at 21.5 over on Prizepicks. Now, change of scenery for OG. Now he is playing the Brooklyn Nets as a member of the New York Knicks and not Toronto Raptors. So all these games are as a Raptor. I don't believe the trade happened before the 28th, right? It definitely was after Thanksgiving. So yeah, all these games are as a Raptor. Different team, different environment, different usage rate, different role for him on the Knicks. When we look at his last 10 games, we should like what we see over his last 5 at minimum, 4 out of 5, 5 out of 10. 50% hit rate, 80% over his last 5 games. Looks good. So we got some good game logs here to check out. Now, we don't get favorable odds in terms of overs, but let's break this down a little bit more. That way you can get a better idea of what's going on here. So we got a Brooklyn Nets defense that is allowing a ton of rebounds per game. 3-point percentage is very high, as well as 3-pointers made. Points allowed per game. I mean, 116 points a game is not chump change, but there are a lot of teams that give up way more points than that. So they're sitting a little less than, middle of the road in terms of points allowed per game. When we take a look at OG's projections today, you can see that he is projected for 22.28. This is a believable projection for OG Anunoby. We are not getting some crazy outlandish number that you have to scratch your head about. This is slightly over the line of 21.5. This is well within his range. When we take a look at his last 10 games, we can see that he is living in the 20s. Rarely does he get to the 30s, if ever, out of these games. And he's just living in that mid-20 range. So this is believable to me. And then you got the individual lines, points, rebounds, and assists for OG. Yeah. I like this. But fucking minutes, man. Tom Thibodeau. Look at these minutes. drive you into the ground. Double-digit shots in each of the last 5 games, averaging, but 4 out of the last 5, 10 or more. He's making 5 or more. It's a good play. I think that's a good play. If you're iffy about the odds, you don't like the odds, you do have information that supports the over in spite of the odds not being more favorable to the over. So you do have a decision to make there if it's a little conflicting for you. But I think I see enough here to like the over on this one for OG. So I think the prop who put this in here? I think you were angling. Was this Divine? You were angling for the over on this one. So you have enough here to support the over if you want to play that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Let's look at Jalen Brunson's points and assists. Ooh, it's nice. So 4 out of the last 5 games, 5 out of the last 6 games, he has hit this convincingly, black eye or not. So 4 games straight of 37 plus, just absolutely destroying. He destroyed Texas. He just said, fuck Texas. I'm going to shit all over the state of Texas. 49 and 47. Fantastic. All right. We already know the matchup, so we talked about this when we talked about OG Anunoby's matchup with the Nets, so nothing changes here. Projections look very good for Jalen Brunson. If you're looking at these the way I'm looking at these, he's going over on every single one of his player props. Now, keep in mind, projections are meant to be a guide. They are not meant to be taken as gospel. But points and assists for Jalen Brunson today sit at 37 projection, 34 PR, 42 PRA, hitting 3 3-pointers, roughly 8 assists, 5 rebounds, and 29 points. So you don't need me to tell you that Jalen Brunson's a good NBA player and that he produces a lot. But those are his numbers. Coin flip on the odds. So you do have a lot of information here that supports the over. You have very little that supports the under. So if you're an under person, I would say there are better unders to take out there. For sure. So Jalen Brunson. All right, let's go with Colin. I almost called him College Sexton. College Sexton. Prestigious name. Colin Sexton, PRA, has been bumped down to 28.5 from 29.5. Now, what you see here on the screen is very similar to what we just saw for Jalen Brunson. 4 games straight. I mean, he's living in the mid-30s, the high 30s. He is on he's on quite a run, all right? How far can we go back that way? How far can we go back to where you can still see this and it's not too like minimized? Last 30 games. What I'm looking for here is to see if there's any like signs of him playing over his head, because that shit has to come back down. But if you're playing consistent and you're just getting like more minutes all of a sudden, or the ball's in your hands a little bit more, that explains why the production is up. So he's averaging 26 minutes on the season. I will say that's the only thing about Colin Sexton. His minutes are all over the place. You wouldn't guess it by looking at his game logs and his numbers. When we break down his minutes, like look at this. Like 18 minutes, 20 minutes, 18 minutes. Like they're all over the place. And I think that's what makes this more impressive, is the fact that he's hitting such huge numbers in such limited run. So he's averaging 26 minutes on the season. When we look at his last 10 games, he's averaging 26 minutes over his last 10 games. So there at least is some consistency with his minutes from season overall to the last 10. But even within the last 10, you can see this like 30, 20, 10-minute difference there. 7 minutes, 9 minutes, 3 minutes, even. You see what I'm saying? He's not playing 40 minutes every game. So, but the fact that it's dropped down to 28.5 gives you favorable odds. We got the game log here. His matchup with New Orleans is middle of the road, but his projections look very good. Grading out 29.85 PRA. That's pretty strong. If you were on one of our previous streams, you know we like taking a look at Colin Sexton's first half PRA. It is at 14.5 over on props.cash. I don't know what it is on Prizepicks. The lowest you'll find it on Prizepicks is probably going to be 13.5. But at 14.5, this is what he's done. He's hit this in 6 straight games. We're spending a little extra time on Colin Sexton because we're breaking down his first half PRA now. 13 minutes in the first half. He's averaging over 1 PRA per minute. You can look at it like that. This is also in play if you want to take that first half prop for Colin Sexton. His points should be 9.5 or 10.5 today. I don't think they're at 11.5. But there you go. Colin Sexton. Hard for me. I know what the Pick'ems table said, 29.5, but it's been bumped down to 28.5, and it's definitely more in play than it was before. So there you go. Moving on. Colin Sexton's done. Brunson done. OG done. Let's talk about Josh Giddey and Zion. Oh, actually, no. Let's talk about Zion now because Zion's in the same game. So let's look at Zion. We're looking at his RA. Rebounds and assists. Radishes and apples. Reindeer and antelope. I can go on and on. So 3 out of his last 5 games, he's crushed this line with 12, 11, 14. 2 games, he's gone well under this with just 4 versus Dallas and Phoenix. What's the difference in those games? Easier matchup against Golden State. Denver's not that easy of a matchup. Charlotte, Dallas, and Phoenix gave him issues. Head-to-head matchup with Utah. We have 2 games to look at this season. 11 and 18, 29. He's averaging roughly, I mean, you can just round this shit up. He's giving you 15 RA in those 2 games. Going back to 2022, he just plays Utah very well. Now, like any matchup with Walker Kessler or any floor time shared with Walker Kessler, because he's healthy now, that Utah front court is big. So it's not like he's always going to be like matched up with John Collins. Walker Kessler's a beast. So Walker Kessler's on the floor. I can definitely see him making it a little bit more difficult for Zion. I don't want to get too deep into that. We're looking at the game logs. We're looking at the odds. These are all favorable for Zion today. What isn't favorable is his projection, sitting at just 9.21. So you have a decision to make here. If you want to take the over on this one, looking at his game logs, history versus the Jazz, and his odds, you got a lot to work with there. If you want to take a look at his projections and say, I don't like those, it does give you some reservation to take the over. Maybe you look to stay away from this one. But we can't predict the future. We can only dig into the research. So this one looks good for the over based off what I'm seeing here. All right, last one, Giddey going over to OKC. All right. Giddey's PRA on Prizepicks is at 22.5. So we're getting this like right right where it should be on props.cash. There is no difference. Only gone over this in 2 games out of his last 5. His last 10 gives you a 50% hit rate. Now, his head-to-head in games with Portland, he does have 2 games to speak of this season where he did the exact damn opposite. 15 in one game and 35 in the other game. The other 3 games were from last season. He's gone over that in all three of those games. Projections for this look strong at minus 128 to the over. We can see that Portland's defense is one that you can pick on. Although having Ayton back should help them. Giddey is projected for 23.26. So you're getting favorable odds. You're getting favorable projections. Easy for me to say. And you're getting positive history versus the Portland Trail Blazers. So this one looks like a strong play for the over. Gone over assists in every single game he's played against the Trailblazers dating back to 2022. But only gone over 1 in his last 5 games, giving you these shitty odds. One more for Giddey, because I know this one will come up at some point, or maybe you're thinking about it. Rebounds and assists for Josh Giddey sitting at minus 136, 10.5 right now over on props.cash. This one looks a lot better than his PRA. Back-to-back games of 12 and 16 for Giddey. One of those games being against the Jazz. Over his last 10, he has a 60% hit rate, and over his last 4 games against the Jazz, against the Portland Trailblazers, not playing the Jazz. 4 out of 5 games. So Giddey RA, Giddey PRA, those are the 2 that I would say are sitting the highest in terms of his props. So there you go. 5 up, 5 down. Again, I will pick the over on Giddey right now, but I'm also going to say within the PRA is his RA, and I like the over on that as well. Like the over on Brunson based off what we saw over on OG. Now, Zion's been bumped up to 11. Was it always 11? Yeah. We were getting it at, 10.5 on props.cash? Nah. Now he needs 12. Bleh. I'm going to go under on this one. Let's go over on Colin Sexton's 28 PRA. And then let's also, baked in that, let's say the over on his first half PRA for Colin Sexton. Where are you, College Sexton? So College Sexton is up to 15 PRA. So doesn't look as good as 14.5. So okay. I like his points at 10.5 because I think on props.cast we're seeing it at 11.5 for his first half points. So Colin Sexton full game PRA now that the line has been bumped down, and Colin Sexton's first half points are also in play. So that rounds out this. Let me screenshot these. I'll throw these in the Discord at the end of this stream. And hopefully these plays give y'all something extra to work with or extra options for you to build out some slips today over on Prizepicks. So let's see, what did I miss? A lot. You guys are blowing up the chat. Thank y'all so much for being here. Appreciate the support, the engagement. Makes this fun. Really, really does. All right. We're going to start another round of player props. We'll go 5 to 6 on these. And that'll more than likely be our last round of player props that we talk about in today's stream. First one that I see is a Cutler Stark special. Is this your special, man? Is this your play of the day? Michael, love that you can do a complete breakdown, tells a completely different story. Maybe stay away from D Russ. Great breakdown. Appreciate that, man. Yeah. Like I always say, don't let me tell you, or just don't let me dissuade you off a play. Like if you are very, very like on a play, the last thing I want to do is like bust that bubble for you, man. So yeah, all I'm doing is trying to like build a case. But definitely play what you feel. Oh, hold on, guys. I'm getting a knock on my door. I think it's the fire department. All right. Sorry about that. A lot of interruptions today. Yeah, it was the smoke alarm guys. They're running tests here, which is also great live stream content. So, all right, Jonas, 12 and a half points. Let's clear this out. Let's get out of first half. Props. All right. He finally had a bounce back game, right? Since Larry Nance has been back in the rotation, Jonas has been his numbers have been suffering a little bit. Rotation, his minutes have been suffering, but he finally had a game, like a good game last game. So that was nice to see. We got Grant under 2 assists from ROK. Jeremy Grant? His assists are not pulling up, unfortunately. So maybe those got pulled from the board. Let's move on. Let's see. ROK says wait until Sunday on that 49ers game. All my NBA hit yesterday. Congrats. You played that promo? The 3-headed promo? Ramo said Jamal Murray over 12 RA. Damn, he's up to 12 already? He is. All right. I know, Jim. What that tells me, though, honestly, is because we look at Sexton's game logs and he's just been killing it, and then you're still getting unders on his odds. I feel like that's telling us that the books believe that this is just him playing over his head. Or he can't continue to sustain that level of play. But it is one of those kind of odds. Like Colin Sexton has now created this streak that you literally just played until it doesn't hit anymore, right? We've seen this happen in all the sports. A player just gets on a roll. More so baseball and NBA because the games are more frequent. But when a player gets on a roll, consecutive hit streaks, games of 20 plus points, you just say, fuck it. I'm going to keep playing the over on this one until it doesn't hit. I don't care what the odds say, because these players continue just to raise their level of play. Colin Sexton might be at that point right now where you just say, I'm going to play the over on this one, and I'm just going to wait for it to not hit at some point, because he's going over more than he's not. Let's see. Austin Reeves. What is that name? 12 Inc. 12 Inc. Says Austin Reeves under PRA. Absolutely. Let's take a look at that. 26. We're at 3. Mario Radar says off Sexton over 1.5 threes made. We didn't look at his 3-pointers. You know what? I'm going to leave this one on the screen just because we already looked at Colin Sexton, but that is also one if you wanted to take a singular line instead of his PRA. Dwight Lewis, that was the one I was looking at. Okay, so Dorian Finney-Smith points. Dwight Lewis says 6.5. It was his father that got released from prison, right? Like after 30 years, and after he got released from prison, and it was his first time seeing his son play basketball or NBA game, and then like everybody on Twitter was saying, how can you not take the over on his points today? Like, that was a cool story. 6.5 is really low though. We'll take a look at it. Yeah, Jim, Sexton over on damn near all his props based off those projections. Yeah, man. But the odds don't agree. It's okay. Like I said, Sexton might be one now that we're just going to play the over until the wheels fall off. Josephat Galindo, welcome in. Good morning to you. Says, looks like the first taco is going to be Jalen Williams, PRA, sitting at 24.5. Huh, okay. Big Icy, Randall over turnovers. We don't get very many turnover props. Let's take a look at that one. 3.5. So Big Icy likes the over on turnovers. Rodrigo likes the points for Randall. Also, infamous male, Randall turnovers. All right. So Randall turnovers seems to be a popular play so far, at least within the last 4 messages that I'm reading. All right. Divine, I missed this one earlier. You did bring up Brandon Ingram's points a while back. All right. 20.5. Okay. We got Jonas. I'm assuming these are overs. If not, let me know in the chat. And we can always change them when we come back. These are our last 6. Taking these over to prize props. I am all over the place. Props.cash. Going to kick it off with Jamal Murray. 12 rebounds and assists. Getting it at 11.5 on props.cash. That means it got bumped up. Let's look at it anyway. 3 straight games gone over with 12 or more. Then we bring this to 12. This hooks it or pushes it. Still really good numbers. Much better showing over his last 5 games than over his last 10 games, which means he, starting to get it going a little bit. So these splits tell 2 different stories. Indiana's defense, they play fast. Pace up game for the Nuggets for sure. Jamal Murray is projected for 10.74 rebounds and assists. 4.2 rebounds and 6 assists. So projections don't look great. The odds are going to be slightly worse than what is showing on the screen because of that line movement. Now, if you're under the thought process of this is a pace-up game and, Jamal Murray should see added opportunities to score rebounds and assists, you can. Pace-up game against the Wizards, he put up 12. But these slow-ass games against the Celtics and the 76ers. Now, that was a pretty decent scoring game against the Celtics. But just on paper, like, you got two evenly matched teams in terms of pace of play. And look at this Orlando game. It does look like in these games where the pace of play isn't, off the charts. Like, these are the games where he really is stepping it up in terms of these categories. Like, Charlotte, is a game where you think he should crush. Here's another game against Indiana where he did go under. Yeah, it's interesting. When you look at these game logs, it's not just like over and unders. You look at the matchups and you kind of try to find trends within those games that'll help you. Points look good. Unless Jokic goes off for 60 again. I don't know what he ended up with last game, but $42. Oh, that's it? Why did I think he had like 60 points? 42 points. What's wrong with this dude? He can't score 80? Come on, man. He ain't no MVP. All right, so that was Jamal Murray's rebounds and assists. Sitting at 12 now. The odds aren't as good at 12. Honestly, I feel like we can find stronger RAs to attack unless this one gets bumped back down to 11, which is possible. Then I would take the over on it at 11.5. All right, we got Julius Randle to take a look at. We like his points and turnovers. Rodrigo like his points. Infamous Mel and Big Icy like his turnovers. So let's look at his points. It is possible to like both. We know the volume he has in each game. It's easy for him to go over points, but because of the volume, it is easy for him to go over turnovers also. It is like the best of both worlds. So minus 120 on the over, minus 106 on the under. He has hit this in 1 out of his last 5 and just 4 out of his last 10. So a bit of a down stretch here. His head-to-head games with the Nets aren't as favorable as you think. He does have 1 game over, and that was this season, so that's good. But the other 4 games, he has not gone over this. We already know what the Nets defense is. We've already looked at this. 24.38 are his projections for points. So for Julius Randle's points, I tell you what, man. If and when this prop gets added to the board, I don't see it right now. 3-pointers attempted for Julius Randle could be in play. Just because he chucks. You can't score without shooting the ball, and he does shoot the ball a ton. I mean, 20, 15, 17, 16, 15. These are all against Brooklyn. Eight, 6, 6, 8, 4 3-pointers taken in those games. His 3-point attempts might be in play if we can get it in that like 6 to 7 range. But for now, his points look like the under is in play. It's a gross matchup. It's not like going to be high-flying, acrobatic game here. Let's look at his turnovers. Three and a half turnovers. All right, we're getting positive. We're getting mixed odds. Like nothing like swaying you to either side. These are his numbers against Brooklyn. He went well under this in his last game. He is upside of 4. Now looking at his last 5 games. Jeez. This game needs to be over here, so then we can get the 4, 5, 6, 7. But all the numbers are there. He just needs to jump in. But damn, okay, yeah. Look at his turnovers here. Crazy, crazy high. Crazy high. I think what would be ideal in this situation is if by chance the Brooklyn Nets were able to take a lead and keep a lead, like hold it. Because in those games where the Knicks are down, the ball is either in his hands or Brunson's hands. And if it's in his hands, he's shooting threes. And if he's shooting threes, that helps out the scoring and his 3-point attempts. But the ball is in his hands a lot more. So the turnover opportunities go up. If the Knicks are in control of this game, they got this shit locked up. It's hard for me to see him go over turnovers because he's just not going to be as aggressive. But I can definitely see why you like the over on his turnovers. It's incredible. This is what you want your stocks to do. Through the roof. All right. Let's look at let's go Dorian Finney-Smith, and then we'll go Jonas and then Austin Reeves. We're gonna go Dorian Finney-Smith because it's in the same game. Let's look at his points. 6.5 points. This is sitting at a higher line on props.cash, meaning other books have this at a higher line. So Prizepicks is giving you a discount. They are daring you to take the over on this low ass line of 6.5. Now, the downside to this is that there are games where Dorian Finney-Smith doesn't score anything. And then there are games where he does this. Which DFS are you getting today? Over his last 5 games, Dorian Finney-Smith, or over his last 10 games, Dorian Finney-Smith? I want over the last 10 games, Dorian Finney-Smith, because he's giving you 8 or 9 in all these games. So just keep that in mind. His numbers against New York are good. 2 out of 4, 9 and 10 are his high marks. And then he did score 10 points against New York back on the 20th of December. Projections for Dorian Finney-Smith. I know this is red, but this is based off the line that you're getting on other books. This gets you over his 6.5 point line on Prizepicks. So you got favorable projections for Dorian Finney-Smith. This is sneaky. I think this is a little bit of a sneaky play. Now, just keep in mind, if you play this, you're not expecting him to go out there and knock down like 4 threes. I want to go back to Randall very quickly and just look at his projections for turnovers. So we didn't look at his projections. So his projections are higher than the line. So 3.7 turnovers gets you closer to 4 than 3. So you do have that going for you. But again, I think this is game scenario. I want to see the Knicks losing this game or down by a few points, forcing Randall to be more aggressive. I think that's going to help out points. Hey, what are you doing? My dog is just knocking shit over. That's going to help out points and his turnovers. All right. Who's next? Brandon Ingram? We're going to look up Brandon Ingram and Jonas in the same game. Let's go Brandon Ingram first. Looking at his points. Now, you're getting this at 20.5 on Prizepicks. You're seeing it at 19.5 over on the other books. 3 straight contests versus the Jazz this season. He has hit 25 or more. That should play into why you like this prop, I'm sure. Now, over his last 5 games, he's only gone over this in 1 game. And now over his last 10, he's gone over this in 2. So not the best odds or not the best game logs here for BI. When we look at his projections, he's only projected for 17.11. So If you look at his projections and you look at his game logs, that makes total sense. The guy's struggling right now for the most part, and his projections are in alignment with that. But maybe this is the get back game. Maybe this is where he gets right. We've seen it happen 3 consecutive matchups with the Jazz this season. Really good numbers. We got a Devin Booker situation. We got a Fred VanVleet situation here. Both of those dudes we talked about in previous videos. Fred VanVleet coming off 3 shitty games of scoring less than 10 points. We talked about he's too good of a player, too good of a shooter to last for this to last. He comes out and scores 25 points. We talked about Devin Booker having this stretch of games where he just wasn't scoring a lot of points, and then he comes out and scores 52 points. I didn't call 52 points, but we talked about how these shooters, these scorers are too good to be this bad for this long. So Brandon Ingram is now in this position where he is just too good of a scorer to be this bad for this long. At some point, positive regression is due. If you think that game is tonight, then you're pulling the trigger on the over 20 points. And that's all I'll say about Brandon Ingram, because I think we're in a spot where we've seen this before. Let's talk about Jonas. 12.5 points. Favorable odds to the under. Nice bounce back game. Good Lord, 6 and 4 points. That's disrespectful, man. Get this guy some minutes. For the most part, his games have been strong. 60% hit rate on both the 5 and 10 game range. Utah's matchup is good for him. He's only projected for 10 points. Now, his history versus Utah, not as good as BI. In fact, he only has 1 game where he's gone over this season. 2 out of his last 5. 2 out of his last 6. So he should see minutes. I mean, that is a big front court in Utah when Kessler's out there. But we've also seen Willie Green just roll Larry Nance's ass out there. So I don't know what to think about Jonas, so I'll just show you his game logs. I'll show you his 10 and 5 game logs, his history versus this Utah team. Let's look at one more thing before we close the books on Jonas. Now, in these 2 games, he scored 4 and 6 points. That's shitty. But his minutes were a little down in that Dallas game, but the minutes were fine in this Charlotte game. So we don't even have the minutes excuse there. This one, yeah, he saw fewer minutes. If Jonas gets back to this 24 to 25 minute range, if this is where he is in this game, I think 12 is in play. I think 12 and a half is in play, but we just don't know. I just wanted to double check and see if his minutes were way down, which would help me understand why his scoring was way down. He only took 5 shots. He only took 3 shots. Foul trouble? Was he in foul trouble? He was against Dallas. 4 fouls. Depending on when he got those fouls, if he picked up 2 in the second, and if he picked up 2 in the first half, you know he sat a good portion of the second quarter. If he picked up 3 in the first half, he sat out a lot. Depending on where these were, this definitely hurt his minutes, hurt his time. But he only got 1 foul against the Charlotte Hornets. So there's Jonas's minutes. There's his shot volume. And then these are his games over the last 10. All right. Is that it? BI, Rand. Oh, yeah. That's it. No. Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves PRA sitting at 26.5 over on Prizepicks. So got 27.5 on the books. Ooh, it's not good. It's ugly. 10-game log is ugly. 5-game log is ugly. Head-to-head matchup with the Clippers is ugly. Now, let's remove LeBron James from the lineup and see what this looks like. Not as bad. He's giving you, okay, so first of all, let's do this. So when we bring the line down to 26.5, it does help make this prettier. So he's gone over in 5 of his last 10 without LeBron. Now this season, he's only gone, well, I say only, like, no, only is not the correct word. In 4 games this season without LeBron James, he has a 50% hit rate, 2 out of 4 games. He hooked it in 2 games, in 1 game against Portland. Very, very close against Utah. No head-to-head matchups without LeBron versus the Clippers to look at least not on props.cash. So we got this to look at. Lower line, no LeBron. These are his last games. 4 games this season. We already know that Clippers defense is not it's not a punk. Looking at PRA for Austin Reeves, sitting at 25.6. So we saw some really bad numbers for D'Angelo Russell in terms of projection. Now we're seeing some fairly bad numbers for Austin Reeves. No Zubac tonight. I think that helps Anthony Davis more. But there's Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves rebounds and assists also is a play that we look at sometimes. 3 out of the last 5 without LeBron, but this season 2 out of 4. So similar numbers. You can also look to his points and assists. That's usually another one that we can look at. Yeah. Not a lot, not a lot to like for Austin Reeves, to be honest. At least not what I'm seeing. 3-pointers made. Not really. So I hope this is not a blowout. What I'm seeing from odds and just projections, this doesn't look good. I hope we get a very competitive game without LeBron, but who knows? Who knows? All right. Let's hope for a good game. All right, last round of plays. We talked about 6 players that round. All right, so Jonas's points, sometimes these just aren't as cut and dry as we want them to be. And in those situations, I say if you have any reservations or something's giving you doubt, it's safer to just stay away. Keep in mind, there are better plays out there for us. Never feel forced to play any player prop. All right. Let's see if the taco's up. Probably not yet. Not yet. Okay. So we just covered quite a few player props. Cutler Stark. This is a good I'm glad you said that. Is it for y'all a common practice to play the under on the original line if they have a taco? So like we saw it last Tuesday with Shea. He didn't go over anything, but if you played the under on his original points, you would have at least broke even if you played the over on this taco. Is this a situation with Jalen Williams where we play the under on his 28.5? And if he is the taco, you play the over on that. They're dropping it for a reason. Prizepicks is not that generous. They are not giving you layups. They are never giving us free. Well, the Christian McCaffrey is pretty much a layup. But with these tacos, these are go and read the promotional fine print on Prizepicks for Taco Tuesday. It clearly states these are not like locks. These are not layups. These are meant for only entertainment and fun purpose. Like, there is a reason they're dropping these lines, and it's not to give us an edge. Sometimes it works out that way. So if taking the over on the taco and under on the original line is a strategy that works for you, let me know in the chat, because I honestly have not done that very often, and I just forget. But today might be the day that I don't forget to do it. So I'm glad you brought that up, Cutler. Rodrigo says, Ingram correlate with Zion RA. Yeah, for sure. Infamous Mel, D'Lo 3-pointers. I see you, man. Getting his assist at 9. If you 8.5, then that's the move. Infamous Mel says, yes, it usually works. Okay, cool. I'm missing out. I'm gonna try it today. If you try it today, we'll talk about this tomorrow. How it worked out for us. I'm going to give it a shot today. That's usually called middling, arbitrage. Sometimes people refer to it as, but anytime you have, well, no, arbitrage is where you're playing the over and under on the same line. This is more of a middling opportunity where you're finding a discrepancy. Usually you're finding it on different pick'em sites. Like you play the over on underdog and the under on Prizepicks and hope that it lands like right in the middle kind of thing. But very rarely do you get the opportunity to do it on the same site. You got to create multiple slips for that. So we'll have a middling opportunity with this taco. See if ideally it would be great if he cashes the taco and goes under original line and we cash. More profit. La Liga got games. Soccer fan, La Liga. Correct? Is that right? La Liga. Have we reviewed Jokic 11.5, now 12 rebounds or higher yet? We have not. We may. Josephat says Jalen Williams has failed to exceed 28.5 points plus rebounds plus assists in 3 of his last 4 games at home against opponents with a losing record, averaging 24.2 PRA. Well, let's put that up on the screen. That's a hell of a breakdown. That's a hell of a dig right there. Deep dive for sure. Appreciate that effort. Divine, take a look at Jokic assist. We just happen to have it pulled up on the screen right now. All right, let's head back to props.cash. I always do this shit. I'm always like, that's it, we're done. And I'm like, okay, a few more. Let's take a look at these. All these have been bumped up, but we'll take a look at it anyway. We're already on the LA game. Let's take a look at Harden's assist. Great odds on the over for the 8.5 line, but now it has been bumped up to 9. We still should be getting pretty good odds at 9, just not 142 odds. He has gone over this in head-to-head matchups with the Lakers 3 straight games, one of these games being this season. Now, this current line of 9 would hook or would push. And over his last 5 games, he has given you 2 overs, 1 push, and 2 unders. Yeah, Shane. Yeah, Shane. He's giving you the under there, Shane. All right, 8 assists is what he's projected for. 8.32 assists. However, these are not in alignment with the current odds. So you're getting favorable odds, even with the bump. You're getting a favorable matchup, a matchup that he has gone over in 3 straight games. Obviously, it's a little bit more risky to take the over at 9 because technically for him to get over, he needs a double-digit assist game. And he's giving you that twice in the last 5 games. Over his last 10 games, he's giving you 10 or more in 6 games. So that looks pretty good. Yeah, 9 assists for James Harden. But you're asking for 10, so keep that in mind. Because no Zubac. Yeah. Let's do that then, Divine. Let's take out Zub. Okay. Without Zub on the floor, he's gone over this in 2 out of his last 5. Pushed or gone over in 2 out of 5 and 5 out of 10. Harden works really well with any big. I would even listening to that podcast, PG's podcast, when Zubac was on there and he was talking about how Harden holds his like after practice session with all the bigs and they run pick and roll, and it's Mace and Daniel Tice, Zub, Brandon Boston, and all these other guys. But it sounds like, you know, Harden just works well with any big that's willing to roll. So even without Zubac in there, it shouldn't like completely wipe out his assist opportunities. So I still think the over on Harden's assists are in play at 9. All right, we're headed up to Indiana one last time to take a look at Jokic rebounds, assists, and assists. So you're still getting this at a lower line on Prizepicks. It's at 9. So over his last 5 games, he has gone over this in just 1. He has pushed in 2. So this opened up at 8.5 at on BetMGM. At 8.5, this looks better. At 9, obviously you're seeing, you know, different numbers here. Head-to-head games with the Pacers, 1 up and 1 down, basically. He needs 10 assists in this game to get you the over. Projected for 8 assists. Rebounds for Jokic got bumped up to 12. We know that. But at 11.5, you're getting great odds. With the bump up, they're still in favor of the over, but it's going to be closer to a coin flip. He is projected for exactly 12 rebounds. 11.9 is 12. So he's projected for exactly his line of 12 rebounds. Four straight games of 12 or more rebounds. He is stuck on 12. Don't know what it is about that number, but he is stuck on that 12. He's gone only over 12 one time out of the last 10 games, and he did it against Philadelphia, surprisingly against Philadelphia. So we're missing out. I mean, right now we're playing the bumps on these dudes. You do have the push potential there, so you're kind of, you know, safe with that play, but you're definitely, the chance for the over does go down a little bit because of that increased line. Feel better, Jim. Jim says he had 2 slips done. not feeling good, go and take a nap. Feel better, man. Feel better. All right. Jokic up, Jokic down, Harden assists up, Harden assists down. We are done, ladies and gentlemen. If you I hope you're not just joining the stream, because this is a shitty first impression. You join and we're closing out. But yeah, we start at 9 a.m. We typically go anywhere between an hour to 2 hours each morning, Monday through Friday. We go over a ton of player props to try to get as many of your questions in as possible. Try to make this as engaging and fun as I possibly can. But I hope that these player props help you with your research. I'm going to throw in all the player props we talked about in today's live stream in the over in the Discord. So there are no breakdowns on these. We just did, that's what this stream is about. But you'll at least know the plays that we talked about. And that way you can check them all out at one time. But what I say about Jokic assist, I said that the line being bumped up to 9, or excuse me, the line being at 9 helps because it's the lower line on Prizepicks, but you're still not getting favorable odds if you compare 5 game log, 10 game log. And in his head-to-head matchup with the Pacers, he's 1 up, 1 down. He needs 10 to get over. So when I look at his last 10 games and see that he has gone over 10 assists in 3 of those games. So I don't really have a strong opinion about his assists because it's just at his flat number. I mean, that's what we're getting right here. I feel like this has to have been at 8.5 at some time. Like Prizepicks very rarely drops a line at a flat number like 9. So if this was at 8.5 earlier today, this was the time to get it. This looks great. Yeah, went over against Boston, went over against went over against New Orleans. That's the only team he's gone over again in his last 5 games. He's pushed against Indiana, pushed against Boston, under against Washington, and under against Philly. Now, against Washington, he was too busy scoring 40 points. So those are his last 5 games. And then his projections. I don't think he just gets you 8. I think honestly 9 is a strong number for him. It's not a matter if he gets you 9 though. It's does he get you 10? He has to get you 10 to go over this line of 9. And I think that's where I'm kind of getting hung up on, is that he has to get you 10. And he's only done that in 3 games. So, not saying it's a bad play at 9, but I much would have rather had it at 8.5. All right. Now, if it's a super competitive game and it's like one of these overtime type of games, hell yeah. You know he's going over that. But competitive basketball games is an oxymoron these days. We're just not seeing as much of it as we used to. So hopefully these games today stay competitive and we don't get any blowouts. And we get the full run for all these dudes, because yesterday's games were a little out of the ordinary, but we shall see. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the time where we bring this stream to an end. I appreciate everybody's time being here. We do this every single day, Monday through Friday. So if you missed today's live stream, you can catch the replay. Hit that like button on your way out if you didn't get a chance to hit it on your way in. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. sharp, looking to talk about our wins, looking to talk about our taco strategy, under and over on the taco and original line. Let's see how that works out for us. We'll talk a little bit more about our bankroll builder and how we are increasing our bankroll, how our week is going. So a lot to go over in tomorrow's stream. I wish you the best of luck. I don't care what player props you roll with. Someone I suggested, somebody else's. I hope they all respect the coin. Hope you profit well. And until tomorrow's live stream, Chavez is out. I'm back. This never happened before. I've never come back on. I feel like James Brown back on stage. Play of the day. Play of the day. How could I forget this? Play of the day. Cutler, Showtime. Give me your plays of the day. If you're still on this stream, give me your plays of the day. I cannot believe I did this again. I'm going to try to catch myself and make up for it right now. But give me your plays of the day. There we go. There we go. Big Icy over 3.5 assists for 3.5 asses. I like that one better. Kawhi Leonard over his assist. How about that? I think my play of the day, since I made him my thumbnail, I'm going to take the over on Colin Sexton's 9.5 first half points. Or is it 10.5, I believe. It's playable up to 10.5 for me. So I'll roll with that one. We got Big Icy over, Kawhi assist. Cutler Stark says play of the day for him is, there we go. We got Mikal Bridges under 2.5 3-pointers made. 2.5 3-pointers made. I love that beat, Infamous Mel. Yeah, I love that. I'm glad I found it. I'm gonna stick to it as long as it's out there. Showtime says Sexton. You like Sexton over his threes? That's your play of the day. We got Divine Gordon over 15 points. AG over 15 points. Oh, ROK Pope over his points of 9.5. All right. Oh, that's a good one, Big Icy. Shea over 9.5 first quarter points. That's okay. David Johnson, thanks for staying on. Appreciate that. David says he likes Julius Randle over 9.5 rebounds. All right, so we're getting these plays of the day in here for sure. Cutler says Shea's a lock. All right, let's see. We got Aaron Gordon. I'm going to read them off the way I wrote them down now. These are throughout the stream, but play of the day, the first one I saw was Aaron Gordon, 21.5 PR. I think that one got bumped to 22. Leonard over 3.5 assists. Sexton over, that's, so I'm playing Sexton 10.5 first half points. I think it's 10.5. But we also got Mikal Bridges under 2.5 3-pointers made. Sexton over 1.5 3-pointers, man. It'd be dope if he hit those in the first half to help me out with my prop. Like the over AG points. That's Divine's play of the day. Pope over 9.5 points. Shea over 9.5 first quarter points. And Randall over 9.5 rebounds. So we got quite a few plays of the day going on here. 4.5 assists also for Randall. So got quite a few plays of the day. All right. Think we're good. Still got 38 viewers on here. Oh man, thanks for the reminder. I promise I won't forget the plays of the day tomorrow. We'll make that. I'll have to make a damn slide so I don't forget it. I see it and then I'll put it on the screen. Plays of the day. So we definitely won't forget it tomorrow. But appreciate y'all sticking around this extra amount of time. I'll let the beat roll. I'll get off screen, unplug the mic. I'll let the beat roll. Y'all have a great day. Hit me up in the Discord if y'all have any questions. And then I look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. sharp. See y'all later.